Call the public hearing of February the 6th to order. We have one matter to consider. That's the zoning amendment bylaw number 3505 with a report from planning. There are no members of the public here, but just in case somebody comes, I'll let people know that anyone that wants to is able, anybody that deems their property to be affected by the proposed bylaw will be given an opportunity to speak. You'll be limited to 5 minutes. If you happen to be here and come, we'll need your name and address and council. This is not a debate time. This is an opportunity for us to receive information from the public. You can ask clarifying questions if anybody presents, but it's not an opportunity either for you to offer your opinions or to get into discussion. With that, and seeing no members of the public here, Dr. Buchan, did you want to have somebody speak to the report?
Your Worship, there is a full staff report on this, so I don't believe there's anything else to add at this point.
All right.
No, there's nothing else to add. And so I think it's the protocol would be to call for first, second, and third.
Absolutely. I'll give it pause just for a moment in case somebody's parking or whatever. But 5 minutes? I'll give it 5 minutes. I'll give it till 5 after. How's that sound? And but I will call now for the first time if there's anyone that would be interested in speaking to this matter in this public hearing. You may come forward now. Beyond that, I don't know if any counselor has a bad joke they want to tell for. I guess it's just should anybody be watching from home and be interested in it. Public hearings are an important part of passing bylaws. Sometimes it's just like this, where the matter doesn't raise a lot of controversy and the public's not interested in coming and commenting, and that's fine. But we still need to go through the process, and obviously there are times where it's a much more controversial bylaw, and I've seen this chambers filled with people who have opinions, and one of the things that's required under the Community Charter and Municipal Act is that council must maintain an open mind up until the time of decision making. So once the public hearing is closed, a council is not able to receive any further information. So it's just a way of making sure that the process is fair and open. If information is presented here, it's shared, the public knows it took place. If once this hearing is concluded, people have something they want to add to that, you may certainly transmit that to staff, but council members are not able to consider any further pieces of information after the close of this hearing, which will be taking place in about a minute. I suppose it would be, Dr. Buchan, you mentioned that there is a report, and it is a very thorough report, but it's worth mentioning just to anybody that's wondering what on earth it is that we're talking about. It is to make changes to the zoning bylaw. So it's a zoning bylaw amendment number 3505, and it's to deal specifically with containers and permitting them in zones where they're not permitted as permanent structures. Um, so it gives the ability to apply for a temporary use permit, which would allow you to have it on your property for, I think it was 60 days. Is that correct? I'm trying to recall. If it's in connection to a building permit, so that it's a construction site issue, it can be there for up to 365 days if it's linked to a valid building permit. But this will allow people that have a legitimate use for a container for a short period of time to store them to use them in a residential neighborhood in an area where they're not normally permitted, but also give us the enforcement tools to and the monitoring tools to be able to challenge somebody if somebody's doing it in an unpermitted way outside of the bylaw. And with that, having seen 6 minutes go by and nobody come through the door, I'm going to call for the second time. If there's anyone interested in speaking to council, they should approach now. For the third and final time, if there's anyone interested in speaking to council on bylaw number 3505, they should do so now. And hearing none, I'd ask then for a motion to adjourn the public hearing. Councillors Cunningham and Randhawa. All in favor? Any opposed? Carried. Meeting adjourned.